Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley. Good to be here today. Y'all, we are here to discuss The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 6, Episode 7. And guys, y'all, I think that you guys already know where I stand. And yeah, this episode was a very hard watch. It was a good episode. But just know that it's going to be me and Heather all day. Heather proved my point. Heather is diabolical. Heather is disingenuous. Heather, for you to sit up there and gaslight Lisa the way you did on that yacht should be studied. Heather needs to go and see the lady immediately. Y'all, baby, wasn't it a mess? Okay, you're ready to tussle as well? Hey, y'all, listen, this episode, it was good, but it was pure chaos. I could not believe what I was seeing. I said, Heather, girl, I'm so mad that Lisa ever befriended you. Because, listen, I feel like y'all, if you've been here for a while, you already know where I stand. I'm sure you know what I'm going to say in this recap. This is why you just can't befriend people who are fixated on you with an unhealthy obsession. Because Heather, for you to sit here and play like this, I'm not saying that you have to like Lisa, but we can all agree that Heather's actions were really crazy and really weird. Yes, honey, Heather was giving a lifetime deranged villain. She was. Okay, don't take your foot off Heather's neck. Get her, Brooke. Okay, you said you were salivating. You loved it. Baby, she sure did. She sure did play the long game. I really wish that Lisa never befriended Heather. I really do. Hey, Jameer, how are you? You cannot come for Lisa like that without proof. We are right here. We are right here. Y'all, Heather gave weirdo behavior. Heather, like I said, it's going to be me whacking you from here on out because Miss Mamas, you have me entirely messed up. And for you to sit up there and do what you did in those final 5 minutes of this episode, I said, girl, you need help. You need help. You really do. For you to your plan is to take Lisa down. You can't even hide it. This episode was wild. I had to watch this episode twice. I was screaming both times. Grab her by her tape-ins. Exactly. Heather is and has always been the true villain. I agree. I agree with you about Heather. Even if Lisa did the leaking, I thought they were friends. Very dirty. As a person with no loyalties, I am loving SLC. That's the best way to watch these shows. With no loyalties to anybody, no ties, you can just watch in peace. I love that for you. I love that. But one day I'll get there. I'll get there one day. But, reviewing a show, you kind of sort of have to have some, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it would be a bit boring if I didn't have any, if I wasn't like picking a side, if I just sat up here and said, okay, that's what happened. You'd be like, okay, girl, like anybody can do that. But one day I'm going to get to where you're at and have no loyalties and just watch the show and just one day. Listen, y'all, I'm not saying that you have to be a Lisa fan, stan, supporter. All I'm saying that looking at this episode objectively, I think that what Heather did was wild. Because just watching this episode as a neutral person, whatever, I would still feel like Heather's behavior was off. All right. Okay, so we all agree. We all see each other. Yes, like regardless, I'm not coming here as I like this person or that person. I'm coming here off of pure human nature. This was weird. Heather displays some very deranged qualities. It was unsettling. Like the hairs on my arm were like standing up at one point because I just said, Heather, there is no way that you are masquerading as this woman's new best friend and doing her in like this. Like, this is wild. I think we can all agree that was just that was real nasty work. But we will talk about this later on, right? Yes, okay, Heather, weird is the right word. Yup, very much so. Heather was crazy. Heather and Whitney always whispering, then tried to recruit Meredith. I'm so tired of it. Yes, honey, we see each other. We see each other. We sure do. We sure do. All right, y'all. So let's just get into everything. Yeah, I'm whacking a lot of people. I'm giving Bronwyn a few whacks. I'm whacking Britani. Like everybody for the most part is getting it. But Heather is getting the most whacks out of everybody, like hands down, because I was so disgusted by her behavior. So we open up the episode. It's a very dramatic opening. We hear a bird screeching. Then we hear Mary say, "Are you okay?" So I'm like, wait, what's going on? We see the My Little Pony doll in the water. So I'm like, wait, don't tell me that somebody fell overboard. Like, what happened on this trip? One thing about SLC, they will always get the first prize for a dramatic opener because this opener was chef's kiss, perfection. So now we rewind the clock back and we see that everybody is in Salt Lake City. They are at the airport about to fly out to Kanawha. We have Britani, Whitney, Angie, and Meredith. No, Britani, Whitney, Angie, and Heather, they're at the airport. And when I tell y'all, Mary is the queen of overpacking, right? She has her Louis luggage, and she is struggling to get it through the door. I said, girl, like, I said, Mary, you can always count on Mary to struggle with her luggage. So now Whitney says, I just received a text from Bronwyn. She reads the text to everybody. It says, hi, sorry for the late notice, but I'm not going to make my flight. Have a safe trip, but I'll be there soon. I'm going to meet you on the boat. Now, my thing is this. If you're going to meet them later, then why not just get your butt on the flight with the group? Like that's so weird to me. I don't know. I felt like Bronwyn was being so over dramatic with this late entrance. Like, girl, you're going to travel 15 hours by yourself. Don't you want to be with everybody else? That's just me. Because if I'm going to miss that flight, then I might as well just not go. That's just me, though. So now Whitney says, I'm not surprised about Bronwyn coming late. I'm actually surprised that she's coming at all. So now Whitney says that Bronwyn is damned if she does, damned if she doesn't, because if she does come, we're all going to talk about her. If she doesn't come, we're still going to talk about her. And I said, now, Whitney, we know that because with you in the mix, stuff is always going to be talked about because that's just who you are. I will always stand 10 toes down in my thoughts about Whitney being the Ashley Darby of Salt Lake City. So now they meet Lisa and Meredith at the gate. They're on the plane. We find out that the flight to Kanawha they have 2 layovers. So it's going to be the first stop is in Newark, New Jersey. The second layover is in Barbados. I said, well, my God, I don't have the patience for a layover. And then to have 2 layovers on top of that. And were they sitting in business or were they in first class? I don't know. I was just like, where are y'all seated? I hope you guys aren't doing 15 hours in economy. Yeah, shout out to Newark. Yes. Listen, when I tell you I cannot do, oh my gosh, a layover. Oh, I can't do it. I need a nonstop flight. You said they were sitting in 17C. So now they finally arrive in Kanawha, and Kanawha is gorgeous. I said, oh my gosh, I need to go there. And especially when they were in the van on the way to the yacht, and Lisa was like, isn't this where the billionaires live? And the driver said, yeah, it's a billionaire playground. I said, yeah, that's where I need to be. But anyhow, they arrive. The yacht is gorgeous. They're on a super yacht. And Captain Jason and the crew is all outside to greet them. Heather says that she met Captain Jason when she was on a trip in Australia with Whitney. She says we hung out for about a week and we had the best time together. Now, we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but the thirst over Captain Jason, I just said, y'all, can we stop being so desperate? Like, I love a cute flirtation, but the way these women were so parched for his attention, I said, my God. And he's very cute, but I just said, like, can we please just like rein it in? Brittany was doing a lot, Heather was doing a lot. I was just like, girl, the secondhand embarrassment jumped out. You know how I feel about women shooting their shots with men and all that. So I'm just like, all right, girls, like let's pull it back. You said let the girls mud wrestle for him. Listen, Brittany's thirst was so embarrassing. Yes, no, he's very handsome, but I just cannot stand to see a woman chasing after a man. Like, let him come to you. Like, all that. And they were acting a bit too desperate for my taste. Yes, it was like, let him breathe. It was ridiculous. Okay, we all see each other. They couldn't control themselves. It was embarrassing. Yes. They were definitely throwing it to him, okay? They were definitely throwing it to him. Yes, honey, Brittany wanted the whole crew. She sure did. So now, you have Lisa saying that any chance she gets to be on a yacht, she's like, yes, pick me, I'm in. Then she throws some shade in her confessional saying that it's going to be so nice for Angie because it's Angie's first time on a yacht. She's usually in an RV. Now I said, wait. I said, Lisa, why do you keep throwing this shade about Angie? Like, Angie has 3 Black American Express cars. Surely she's been on a yacht. When I tell you, I was so surprised when we cut to Angie's confessional and we find out that that was her first time on a yacht. I said, really, Angie? I was so surprised to hear that. I said, oh, okay. Well, first time for everything. But yeah, I was so surprised to hear that. So now Angie says that she plans on keeping her distance from Lisa. But then now Angie, when you're in your bag about your shade, you are in your bag, because I was not expecting Angie to make that joke. She said, or I could stand next to her to make my ankles look smaller. I said, well, damn. Like when Angie, like I love when Angie gives you a good read and not a rehearsed read, but that was actually really funny. Hey, Connor McGregor, thank you for the super chat. If Bronwyn knew that she'd be sharing a room with Brittany, I can guarantee she wouldn't have come. Very true. She should have stayed home. So now we have, they're on the yacht. They're greeted by the crew. They're greeted with some champagne and margarita shots. Of course, you have Lisa saying that I'll do this tequila this one time, but I'm going to make sure that you guys have my tequila for the next time. I said, Lisa, girl, they don't have Vita tequila in Canawan. I'm so sorry to tell you this. You'll be okay drinking Don Julio or Casamigos. Girl, it's okay. For these next 72 hours, just enjoy the other liquor or have some champagne. But I said, my God, I said, Lisa's going to find a way to promote her Vita tequila at all times. So now you have Brittany flirting with the deckhand about his accent, because he said, I have margarita shots. And the way he said it, there's an accent on margarita. So the way, Brittany was just batting her eyelashes, and she was like, oh, I just love your accent. You have Brittany talking about there's a smorgasbord of hot men. I said, Brittany, girl, right now, I know you're on vacation. I know you want to have a little fling or something, but Miss Mamas, your mind is too cluttered with DICK. Like for right now, can we focus on your daughters? Like every minute does not need to be filled with men. Respectfully, like use this time away to focus on yourself and just have fun with your friends. Please. She was wearing me out at every turn with the constant talk about men and Captain Jason and the deckhand. Like it was enough already. Yes, no, for real. She has a dick for brains. She's like a boy crazy teenager. Exactly. Brittany, I think is 53, 54. Yes, you said, I know Olivia took a deep spiritual sigh watching this episode. Deadbeat needs to get her priorities straight. Exactly. Yes, Brittany is desperate. Very much so. The desperadoness of her. No, for real. Very desperado behavior. So now we have the head of the crew she's like, there's only 6 of you guys. Isn't there one more person coming? So now Whitney says, oh yeah, she's coming. She's on her way. But how is she gonna get here? So they're like, don't worry about that. We're gonna cover that, but she'll be here safe and sound. Like, don't you worry. You guys have a good time. So now we get a tour of the yacht. There are 4 beautiful bedrooms on the yacht. They all have to share a room. So Heather picks the best room. Her and Whitney are sharing. Lisa and Meredith are sharing a room. They have a bathtub in their bathroom. Mary and Angie are sharing. And now Brittany and Bronwyn are sharing a room. So Brittany was not happy. She was like, wait, I'm sharing with Bronwyn? Really? They were like, girl, you'll be fine. She might not even show up. Now, Brittany, you're a friend of the show. Bronwyn is a newbie, just came on. Like, you guys both came on last season. You guys don't really have your say-so on who gets to stay where. So be happy that you're even on the trip. Be happy that you're on the yacht, in my humble opinion. You really don't have any room to make any demands. Just be happy you're there getting camera time. Just saying. You said sharing rooms on a work trip is kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, Brittany, you don't even go here. Exactly. Like, baby, you're too new. You don't have enough skin in the game to be making demands about where you're going to stay. It's not your trip. You're a friend of. You just joined the show last season. Like, calm down. All right. Yes, be glad that she's on the trip. Exactly. It's a free vacation. Have fun and make the most of it. So now we have, they're in their rooms. So now Heather is telling everybody how her and Whitney are friends with Captain Jason, and she wants them all to be on their best behavior. Lisa asked him, well, where's Captain Jason at? They were like, he's driving the boat, girl. Like, I said, Lisa had a bunch of blonde moments throughout this episode. She kept calling the little floaty swan a duck. I said, yeah, Lisa, girl. Lisa was out of it because I said, girl, why are you asking where is the captain at, honey? He's steering the boat. So anyhow, Brittany says that she's a sucker for the leader of the ship. She says, if he's into me, then I'm into him. They were all like, girl, what about Jared? So Brittany says, well, we're on a 30-day break, but I want to hang out with Captain Jason. Brittany, y'all are only going to be here for 3 days. If Captain Jason wants you, he'll let you know that he wants you. You throwing yourself at him is not, like, that's not how you should be doing things. Like, again, I just felt embarrassment. And all throughout the episode, when you have Brittany talk about she's jealous when Heather and him were getting close, I said, girl, are you okay? Is everything all right? Are you well? Well, we know the answer to that. You're a deadbeat mom, so obviously you're not well. But it's just the fact that you really showcase the thirst on national TV and you're not ashamed about it. Like, that's what gets me. Because how are you proud to be this man crazy at your big age? It's very embarrassing. So anyhow, Brittany says that after her reading from Terrence at Whitney's party, she decided to do the 30-day break until Jerry showed up to her home to help her pack for the trip. So now the 30 days is starting over again. Do I believe that she decided to go on that 30-day break? No, I don't. I think that Brittany is full of it. Brittany is full of it. She's just saying that because she knows that she looks crazy. So now they sit down to address Brittany at the table, and Meredith says, look, if you want to go for Captain Jason, that's all good, but be clear, none of us want to hear Jared's name on this trip. So do not utter that man's name. So Whitney says, if you say Jared's name, we're going to splash you with water. So Brittany, trying to be funny, she says Jared's name 3 times. Meredith picks up that picture and pours it on Brittany. I said, oh, Meredith has been wanting to do that for a long time. She couldn't wait to throw that water on her. So now Meredith says that for once, she actually agrees with Whitney and likes her idea. So now we have the crew come out with more champagne for them. And they let everybody know that Bronwyn is on her way. So they see Bronwyn on a boat. She's headed towards the yacht. and they're all waving for her, like, hey girl, hey Bronwyn, how are you? Like, they're like, hey, like, we can't wait for you to get on the yacht. So now we cut to Bronwyn's confessional, and Bronwyn says, I don't know what I'm walking into. I'm sure the ladies have seen the allegations. I'm sure they've discussed it. I have Todd's words reverberating in the back of my head. I really want to have fun. So now, here's my thing about this. Bronwyn, for you to act upset or surprised at them talking about your allegations, I'm like, girl, do you not know what show you signed up for? That's the name of the game. When stuff gets out in the press, lawsuits, charges, whatever, they are going to talk about that and use it as a storyline. So the same way y'all talked about Lisa and anybody else, they're going to talk about you. The same way they talked about Whitney and her Alibaba jewelry and fashions, whatever have you, they're talking about your stuff too. So deal with it, process that, and get ready for battle, prepare for battle, because yes, they have been talking about you. So don't be, why are we acting confused? And again, Bronwyn, the sympathy for you and what you're going through is not really there, because let's not forget that in the first episode, you were going hard in the paint about Lisa's charges and allegations and lawsuits. So I'm just saying, Bronwyn, I'm just saying. So now Bronwyn arrives on the yacht, and Bronwyn has this over-the-top outfit. I think the outfit was an Alexander Wang outfit, or it was Moschino. Whatever it was a cute outfit. We know that Bronwyn is very over the top with the hot dog dress that she had on last year. She loves over the top fashion, right? So did anybody catch Lisa's shade when Bronwyn got on that yacht? Bronwyn, you have Lisa talking about like, oh, you look like a life raft. No, she said you came with your own life raft. I said, girl, the shade of it all. Like, Lisa was already annoyed with Bronwyn when she stepped on that yacht. I did think it was interesting when Lisa turned to Britani and Angie and said, I feel like Bronwyn has a lot on her plate right now. I was like, wait, so Angie and Lisa are on speaking terms now? Like, did I miss something? Because from what I remember, Lisa and Angie weren't good. So now you guys are good enough to talk about Bronwyn? Yes, no, Lisa, okay, so you hate Bronwyn's costumes. The thing about these ladies' friendships is that everybody can get it. Lisa wasn't wrong. Lisa with the hater shade. Lisa is a hater. I'll say this. I did feel like Lisa was doing a lot with the snide remarks under her breath about Bronwyn's outfit. I just said, Lisa, just keep some stuff up here, because it gave a little bit, I don't want to say miserable, but you gave something. Maybe it did kind of feel a bit haterish, the way she kept making jabs at Bronwyn's outfit. I said, girl, she just stepped on the boat, like, enough already. Yes, Lisa shaded again, saying that she's worn it twice. Yes. So now, Lisa says, Bronwyn and I are fine. And I said, are you? Because the way you're sitting up there throwing shade about her outfit, it doesn't seem like it to me. She goes on to say, I don't like to throw around the word karma because I think it's grossly overused. But why did she come for me so hard when you've got icky skeletons in your closet? I agree with that. Because Bronwyn, when you step on the show, you should know that any charges you had, any mugshots, any allegations will be brought up. Like, we know that goes for any city, any housewife. If you've been to jail, mugshot, DUI, theft, robbery, whatever you did in the past will come up to the surface. So I am surprised that she went so hard on Lisa's lawsuits, knowing that she has some charges of her own. Just my opinion. So Whitney's like, so they're all hugging Bronwyn. Bronwyn's energy did seem kind of frazzled. You could tell that she was nervous being around the group because of what's happened in the press. So Britani says, by the way, I can't believe that we're sleeping together in the same room. Bronwyn is like, wait, we're in the same room? And they're like, yeah. So Bronwyn says, bitch, my name is Bronwyn, not Jared. So now, of course, since Jared's name has been said, they throw water on Britani anyway, even though she didn't say Jared's name, Bronwyn did. They're still going to whack her Britney regardless, right? So now we see them all changing into their swimsuits to, have fun in the water, swim. And I felt so bad because immediately Angie is getting seasick. Angie, I have never felt so sorry for somebody in quite some time, because imagine traveling for 15 hours to be sick as a dog. Like, girl, I'm like, Angie, did you even enjoy the first day here? I mean, Angie was torn up from the time they stepped on that yacht. I said, my God. I felt so bad for her, but she's already sick as they're changing into their swimsuits. So now we see that Britney she's showing Bronwyn the pony that Jared got her with his voice playing. It says like, always remember me, baby, I love you, something like that. Whatever. I'm so sick of Jared and Britney, so I don't even care. So now we see the crew opening somebody's luggage, and we see a short, fat cucumber in the luggage. They're all trying to find out who had that cucumber. Why did somebody bring a cucumber with them? You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I could tell that the insinuation was that cucumber was there for something else that wasn't for eating. I'm going to leave that there. You said, I feel no ways. Oh, Jared said, you're loved. Not, I love you. That was telling for me. Okay. I forgot what he said. You said that was Britney's cucumber. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I said that was probably Britney's cucumber. I thought the same. Me and you are right here. Yes, honey, another Brazzers moment. They were there for a good time. Yes. We were thinking the same thing. You said Reva, the dominatrix spirit, is here. You guys will not sit up here. Y'all don't get the live shut down talking all crazy in this chat. Watch Brazzers, child. Let me stop it. Move on, y'all. Move on. Let's move on. Oh my gosh. Okay, y'all. So now we have Meredith talking to Lisa, and she says, what did you think about Bronwyn showing up? She showed up in an inflatable outfit. I said, not inflatable. Lisa says it's on brand for her. Meredith says, did you notice that Bronwyn did not say a word? And we didn't ask her anything because Heather said, don't bring it up. Let her, I wonder if she'll bring it up on her own. So Lisa says, I'm sure that Bronwyn will give us an iteration of the truth. So Meredith says, I'd like an honest answer. That would be nice. So now we see Bronwyn unpacking. And remember, her and Britney are sharing a room. And Britney is asking Bronwyn, why didn't Bronwyn fly with them? She says, where have you been? Why didn't you come with us? Bronwyn says, well, I almost didn't come at all. So Britney was like, well, why? So Bronwyn says, well, I'm not ready to say yet, but someone in this group is planning stories about me in the press. Britney says, oh yeah, the whole Grand Theft Auto thing, that's not true, is it? So Bronwyn says, well, first the story was I stole a car. Now it's something else. It's disgusting. It's manipulative, and it's trying to dig in my past and discredit me. So then Bronwyn says she's not embarrassed by her past. She's made a ton of mistakes. And is it just me, or did anybody feel like Bronwyn was getting very defensive in this conversation with Britney? Because if these charges, were false, I would just say, oh yeah, there are lies about me saying that I did X, Y, and Z. I felt like Bronwyn's tone was very much defensive. The same way they say that Lisa's very defensive, which she is, I felt like Bronwyn was just as defensive as well when talking to Britney in their room about her alleged charges, right? So Britney says, yeah, we're all wondering if it's true because it is public record. Bronwyn says it's not true. It's not public record. And there's some specific shadiness going on. And it bothers me to hear that you guys have been talking about me behind my back. Nobody bothered to call me other than Mary. Now, Bronwyn, respectfully, I understand you're upset at the group gossiping and not talking to you directly about what's going on. But did you give that same grace? Did you call up Lisa when the lawsuits came out? Or did you not go behind her back and talk about her allegations and her lawsuits to the group when she wasn't there? I'm very surprised that you expect them to all show you respect and talk to you about this face to face when you don't do the same thing. And let's be very clear, nobody on this show is, respectful when somebody has charges against them or there's some salacious story out. You guys all gossip and talk to each other about it, and then you address it when the person is there in a group setting. But we're not going to act like you guys don't all talk about each other when stuff gets out. So now we find out a bit more about what happened. Bronwyn says these are mistakes that I made in the past from 20 years ago. She was evicted from her last apartment. This was after she left to have her baby in California. She says all these things are a long time ago and not true. Then she says there's a case that they're trying to say is current and is 10 plus years old. The only thing they can find, because it's been sealed, is a penal code that the case is referencing to. So identity theft, grand theft, fraud, those are things listed under that same penal code. She says it's embarrassing. It puts stress on her family, especially Todd. And Todd does not deal with nastiness or lies. So now Brittany says, well, that's interesting. And now we cut to the crew laughing about the cucumber. Like, whose cucumber was it? Why did somebody bring the cucumber with them to Canawan? We still want to know too. I mean, I have my theories as to why and who brought that cucumber for what, but I'm gonna just leave that right there because YouTube gets real prudish. They get real prudish on lives, honey. We can't really talk. We can't really talk on YouTube live because YouTube will snatch a live down quickly, honey, if it's too much. You said Todd doesn't deal with anything, LOLs. Todd is an old man who wanted no part, I agree, of this reality TV show. I know Todd got on Bronwyn's behind. The way that crew got scandalized and tried to make it innocent is for a spa day. Yeah, you knew what they were implying. They definitely wanted to say something else, but they tried to clean it up because they're like, you know what? Let's not get crazy on TV. Yeah, oh yeah, YouTube gets real funny. If the content gets a little bit too spicy, if it gets to be like YouTube after dark, they get real prudish. So now, you said you think it was Heather's. Todd works in corporate America. All he does is deal with lies and other nonsense. Listen, child. So now we get to, where are we? Oh, so now it's time for lunch. And when I tell y'all that spread looked amazing. They had a lobster, and it was like a lobster and crab salad. Then they had cheeseburger sliders. Oh my gosh, y'all, my mouth was just, and then washed down with some champagne. You guys know I was drooling, okay? I said, oh, y'all did that. Let me get off of that because we'll be here all day talking about food. But that spread, y'all did that. Again, I felt so bad for Angie. Angie is off to the side sick. She has her bucket in case she, I'm not going to say I want to gross anybody out, but she's off to the side with her bucket. I said, Angie, you traveled 15 hours to be sick like this. I mean, she couldn't even enjoy her lunch. I said, my God. I felt so bad for her. So Heather says, well, it's our first meal together on the yacht. Bronwyn's here. And now Whitney's asking Bronwyn if everything is okay. So it's an awkward silence. And Bronwyn says, it's a lot of stuff that went on last week and it upset Todd. People are trying to dig in my past and twist things and say things that are not true. Todd thought that maybe I'd be better off not coming on this trip. And now we know for certain Meredith likes to know who she's around. So if you're involved in some shady stuff, she needs to know quickly. So that way she can say, I want to hang out with you or I don't want to hang out with you. Meredith wants to feel safe. So Meredith is like, look, I saw things. I went back from a few years, back to 20 years. Like, what's the deal? It's in your best interest to clear things up because it looks a lot worse than what it is, if I'm guessing. So Bronwyn says, look, I got kicked out of BYU 20 years ago. When I left BYU, I didn't pay my last month of rent. It took me a while to get my life together. There was a judgment on my last couple of months of rent at my apartment. So Lisa's like, well, you know, that's fine, girl. That was 20 years ago. You were only 19. And Bronwyn says, yes, I was 19 and I was pregnant. So now Mary's asking her, why is this even coming up in the press anyway? So Bronwyn says, someone tried to bring it up. And now Heather jumps in and brings up the charges that were coming up against Bronwyn from 2021. So Bronwyn says, there are no charges against me from 4 years ago. That's a new thing that people are saying. Something went on at my work and that I cooperated with the authorities about it and they were not charged against me. She says years later, all of the charges not against me went through, but the case was sealed. So now Lisa wants to know, why was the case sealed? Bronwyn says, I can't discuss that. She says the whole thing was sealed, which is why people are speculating because you can't get any info from a case that's sealed. So now Heather's asking Bronwyn, why would they file charges on her record? Bronwyn denies that. She says, there are no charges on my record. There are no mugshots, no police records. There's nothing. I said, all right, Bronwyn, you did a good job explaining yourself. All right, I'm here for it. So now Lisa's asking, why would it matter then? And Bronwyn says, the both of us, meaning her and Todd, felt like there's nasty things that have come out in the press, and the both of us are concerned that maybe somebody in this friend group is doing it. So, Lisa, I understand that you already knew that they were all thinking that you're the one who's leaking the stuff. But if I were you, I would have sat there and ate my food and just let Bronwyn and whoever else talk. Lisa, my heart was like, I had secondhand embarrassment for you in this moment because the outburst that you had just now, I said, girl, calm down. So Lisa's like, well, I don't think that anybody here would do that. We've been hanging out for a long time. Nobody here would do that. So you have them all just staring at her. Of course, Whitney drops her fork. She's making faces. Heather's making faces. They're all making faces. So now Whitney starts asking, well, how are they getting detailed information? So Bronwyn says, I agree with Whitney. It's weird that stuff comes up in this group all the time. So Lisa interjects again. And she's like, she brings up how Bronwyn brought up her lawsuits. And she says, I thought it was weird that you dug stuff up on me. When I wasn't there, I was upset with you. I felt like it was retaliation. But I don't believe that one person here would do that. Again, Lisa, I need you to stop being so reactive. Nobody said your name in this moment. And I understand where you're coming from because you already know that this group does want to pin this on you, but don't make things worse for yourself by interjecting and going on this huge rant and tirade when they didn't even say your name. I would have waited for somebody to have the balls to say my name before I just did that. Because again, you made yourself look guilty. You looked so anxious. You were panicking almost. And I was just like, oh my gosh, Lisa, don't add more fuel to the fire. Yes, it's so true. Do protest too much. It's very true. Lisa might as well have stamped, I did it on her forehead. Lisa talks too much. Most times she shoots herself by herself. It was obvious they were blaming Lisa, but she should not have given them all that. We're not going to play dumb and act like they weren't low-key insinuating that it was Lisa. They definitely were doing that. And I understand her frustration. Like, let me just get ahead of this because I know you guys think it's me. But in this situation, I would have sat there eating my food, enjoying myself, sipping my champagne. I would have paid this conversation dust. Until you guys have the balls to say my name and say that you think it was me, I'm paying y'all dust. That's how I would have dealt with it. Yes, they really think that it was her. If Lisa was say quiet, they would have said she was too quiet. No, I agree. She can't win either way. But I feel like in a case like this, though, her best bet would have been to say less. Sometimes less said is best said. Well, a lot of times in life, less said is best said. In all seriousness, though, but in this case especially, she was better off keeping quiet and just eating her food and enjoying the view. Yeah, I wouldn't have said anything either. I generally do not think that Lisa did it, and I'm not a Lisa fan. Okay, no, we are here. Like, no. I don't think Lisa did this at all. I don't think Lisa did this at all. Okay, especially with the proof on social media that it was not Lisa. So I don't believe it at all. We're gonna talk more about that. I got you, but yeah, I don't believe that it was Lisa either. I think that it's easy to pin this on her, but I don't believe that it was Lisa. Yes, it's like just eat your food, enjoy the ocean view. Exactly. Lisa can't control herself. She talks too much. I agree. Yeah, I would have been playing with I would have been twirling my hair. Exactly. I think you're right. Now, I don't like Lisa, but she would have benefited from being quiet. Oh, absolutely. Hey, Florida Rain 6, thank you for the super chat. While I do think Lisa put her foot in her mouth, I think it's asinine to accuse her of leaking things like there aren't dozens of toxic Housewives fans who dig up on Housewives they don't like. Say this again. Hold this thought. We're talking about that. The whole argument about this was Lisa is so foolish. This is so. You and I see each other. This is a lazy way to try to ice somebody out and get her off the show. I don't believe that she did that. I don't. And you're so right, baby. The Housewives fans are very rabid. And if they don't like somebody, they will look you up. And even if they do like a housewife, they'll look up a housewife. You have people out here doxing housewives. You have people out here finding their addresses and all that. So where they used to work, finding their kids' schools. Like it's a lot. Some of these viewers are not well. So for them to think that Lisa did this, think about before social media really popped off. Remember how they found Nene's and Sheree's mugshots? They found them in season 2 of Atlanta. So it's like you think that because you don't like Lisa that Lisa did this. Like this is such BS. This is such BS. No, the fandom can be toxic. No, it's very true. This is taking a semi-dark turn. I agree. Yes, and I don't even care for Lisa, but to put it all on her without any proof is crazy. I agree. We see each other. So now we have so now Heather's like, pipe down, Lisa, you're revealing yourself. I said, shut up, Heather. So now Lisa says, don't spin this on me because you're targeting me. That's going to piss me off. So now Mary's like, well, do you know who you're talking about? Bronwyn says, I don't. Lisa says, it's not me. So now Bronwyn says, it would bother me if it was somebody in this group. So Heather's like, well, Bronwyn, who do you think did this? So Bronwyn says, well, I don't want to make any accusations, but after Amy's party, things did intensify. And after the lunch that Lisa and I had, I thought that we had some clarification. I thought we cleared things up. So Lisa says, yes, we did clear things up, and I didn't do anything to you. That sounds like an accusation. So now, Lisa, once again, here's where you go wrong. Every time you start screaming, the ladies are already trying to turn against you, right? Don't make things worse for yourself. I think the best piece of advice I've ever received, having emotional regulation is the key to life. You can do a lot more with silence a lot of times than you can with yelling and screaming to get your point across. Every time you start yelling and getting so reactive, you add more fuel to the fire. I wish that you could just control it and just sit there and be calm, because you shoot yourself in the foot when you start yelling like that and you start screaming and you're doing all this and your eyes are blinking a mile a minute. I'm like, Lisa, enough. And I feel like you could really win if you would just control your emotions. If you could master that, you would really be that girl. Like, I'm serious, Lisa. That you could really run circles around the majority of this group if you just learn to master your emotions. Yes, Stacey is a great example. She is. Stacey is phenomenal with how she's handling Giselle and Ashley on Potomac. Yeah, she folds way too early. And it really bothers me because it gives the people who don't like her ammo, it gives her castmates ammo to say that she's guilty. And it's like, oh my gosh, if Lisa could just regulate her emotions, she could really win this whole thing. I promise you that. So now, of course, they all believe that Lisa's guilty because of her outburst. And Lisa's going on and on about how she will not be accused of this. She goes on to say, who fed the press my stuff? And then she says, you know what, guys, let's go swimming. It's hot. It's 100 degrees out. Like, I don't want to talk about this anymore. So now we cut to Whitney's confessional. And she says, bitch, nobody even accused you. The reason we know it's you is because you give yourself away. I said, again, Lisa, learn how to play the game. I wish that Lisa were more strategic when it came to arguing. Because I don't know, you can say what you want. There is an art to arguing. And Lisa loses every single time. That is not her strong point. And it bothers me so bad. So now Lisa says to Heather, I don't know how that got spun. Heather says, you're effed. Lisa says, no, that got spun. I said, Lisa, stop talking. Stop talking. That's whatever you say will be used against you. Take my advice. Stop talking, please. Oh, listen, they were in their glee. Okay, Whitney couldn't contain herself. So now they're in the water having some fun. We see, they're swimming. Captain Jason and Heather, they're having a nice time in the water. So Heather says that she'll ride Captain Jason like a Bronco. I said, Heather, girl, you are so desperate. And it was hilarious when the producer asked her, oh, if you were trapped on an island with Captain Jason, what would you bring? And she said, condoms and a bikini. I said, all right, Heather. I said, okay. I said, Heather is in heat, honey. I was going to say something else. I'm going to just leave it right there. I'm going to be good today, okay? I'm going to be good today. So you see, like, Britani getting a bit jealous of Heather and Captain Jason in the water together. I said, Britani, girl, you really need some help. Like, there's no nice way to say it. You need some help. So now you have they bring the floaties out for the ladies. Lisa, I don't know why you kept calling the floaty a duck when it was clearly a swan. I said, you don't know the difference between a swan and a duck? So now we see Britani flirting with yet another deckhand. They all point out how Britani she is thirsty for a man. I felt so bad because Angie is in the water. She has to be rescued because she is still, it's coming up. All right. Whatever she ate is coming up. She was going through it. Like, I felt so bad. I said, oh my gosh, Angie, this is crazy. I said, get in the bed, take a shower, get in the bed and just sleep, because sleep until you guys have to go back to Salt Lake City, because this is crazy to me. No, yes, Britani is desperate. No, she really is. She really is. I said, girl, it's a swan. Same here. So now we catch Whitney and Bronwyn in Bronwyn's room. And so Bronwyn is showing the pony that Jared bought Britani, and she's like, this is going to be my sleep paralysis demon. This thing is going overboard. So now Whitney's like, wait, is that Jared's voice? And they're like, and she's like, yeah. So now we cut to Britani at the bar, and Britani is flirting down. She's talking about what she does for a living. She says, I'm a real estate developer. I build and sell. She must have said that about 10 times. The deckhand is staring at her like, girl, what? Again, I said Britani. When it comes to Britani, it seems like any man with 2 legs and a pulse. All she needs is a penis, 2 legs, and a pulse, and that's the man for her. Like, Britani, when are you going to get some help? When is she going to receive some evaluation? Because something is wrong. I mean, whatever man is in front of her, that's the man that she wants. You said, I don't even think that both legs are mandatory. As long as he has that 3rd leg that works, she's fine. It's very cringe. Britani would flirt with Michael Darby, child. She sure would. I believe so. Listen, y'all, she needs to go see the lady. Listen, she needs to see the lady and not a man. Just take her to Chili's. You have me screaming. Honey, take her to Chili's. She will move a man into her home for a Chili's triple dipper. You said no, she only wants Jared, but she'll take any replacement temporarily. I can see that. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jordan Evangelista, thank you for the super chat. Heather is so fake. She probably set up Lisa because she wants to be the queen bee. Oh, absolutely. And she probably is the one who planted the stories on Bronwyn. Oh, I believe so. We all know that Heather can't stand Bronwyn. So her trying to act like, I just care so much and it's you who leaked the story is probably Heather. We all know that Heather lies, and she's also a sneak. And she's always had a weird, jealous fixation of Lisa Barlow. So I believe that Heather came into the season wanting to take Lisa down. Oh, absolutely. Yes, honey, a triple dipper. I told you guys that if you guys were not there for that live, I did a live in February about the throat spray girl. Go and watch that live, please. And then this one lady was so desperate. She moved a man into her home because he took her out on her first date ever to Chili's and bought her a triple dipper. She moved him into her home with she has 4 kids, mind you. Now, the fact that you have 4 kids and never been on a date, I don't know how that happens, but okay. Moved a man into her home because he took her to Chili's on a first date. He spent a whopping total of $47.23, and she moved him in with her and her 4 kids. Doesn't know if this man is crazy. Doesn't know if this man has a job, but moved her in. A mess. And took him on a Carnival cruise, bought him a new PS5, bought him some new Jordans. Just big desperado energy. Big desperado energy. I think she ended up deleting her TikTok too because she got ate up in the comments about how desperate she was. A mess. Very much so. Oh no, you're hearing that correctly. I couldn't believe it. Chili's should use that as as advertising. I'm screaming. Baby, a triple dipper and a dollar margarita, and she will propose to him. Probably made him a kept man. It's very sad. Very sad. No, it is an epidemic. Listen, the girls are falling prey to desperation. It needs to stop. It needs to stop. Honey, it's going around. It has the girls in a chokehold. A mess. A hot mess. But anyhow, Britani gives those vibes for sure. So now we jump to, I just lost my train of thought talking about all this desperation, made me lose my spot in my notes. A mess, y'all. So now, hold on. Okay. So everybody now is getting ready. No, we see Lisa in her room talking to John, and now we see them all getting ready for dinner. So Whitney and Heather are in their room talking. Whitney says, do you notice that every time Lisa's mad at somebody, information leaks about them? All of us. Heather says, I agree. She goes on to say that Lisa is smarter and darker than any of us imagined. She keeps a scorecard. She's pissed about Bronwyn and her attitude and her other BS. This has been going on for a long time. We saw it at the reunion when Lisa said that she spoke to the jeweler, revealing that Bronwyn did not buy that necklace. Then she says, I've also seen Lisa talking to other people and gathering information on Bronwyn. We cut to a flashback at Amy's party. Lisa was asking about Bronwyn and Todd, if she knew Bronwyn. And Amy said, yeah, we all live together in the Bay Area. And then Lisa goes on to ask if people like Todd. And Amy says, can I plead the fifth? Now, let me just stop right here. Heather, this is your new best friend, correct? You love your new best friend to pieces. How is that your best friend, but yet you want to believe the worst of them? Because I know that if I consider you a friend, I'm not saying, oh yeah, that's my friend, but yeah, they would do these horrible things like that. I could not imagine talking so poorly about a friend and saying that I believe the worst of them. Is that just me? Let me know if I'm crazy in the chat. Yes, she could not wait to throw her under the bus. I was in shock. How is Heather always in the right spot at the right time? It's bizarre. This is Heather's MO. Exactly. From day one, Heather and Whitney have been doing exactly what they accused Lisa of. I agree. Yep. Because Heather never considered Lisa a friend. She just wanted to be accepted by her. Oh, absolutely. Heather showed her hand. I agree. At this point, Lisa should just take this as a compliment. These women overestimate her a lot. I agree. You can't be jealous. You can't be friends with somebody who is jealous and envious. I've been preaching that from the rooftops. I have been preaching that from the rooftops. Say this again. That's why I always said, Lisa, keep your distance from that lady. That lady is nuts. And Heather has always given envious. Her and Whitney have always given envious of Lisa. Folks always get mad at me. I've been saying that since the beginning, and I've gotten so much pushback, and that's fine. I'm going to still keep saying it until somebody gets where I'm coming from. But I have always felt that, and you can, and that's in general anyway. You cannot be friends with somebody who's jealous of you and wants your life. You can't. It doesn't work. It's ridiculous. The fact that that's your friend, but you're saying, oh yeah, she's dark and she's this and she's that, and she always does stuff like that. Like, wow, that's your friend, and you're talking about them like this. Like, that makes sense to you in your pea brain, Heather? Listen. Thank you. Every time I say this, I get pushback, but it's nice to know that I'm not crazy. I'm in my right mind. It's nice to know that I'm in my right mind. Hate to say it, but Lisa is definitely the Giselle of this franchise. She absolutely is. The girls all want her friendship. They absolutely do. Thank you. Can I say thank you so much for letting me know that I am not alone in this, with this sentiment. Like, thank you. It's so nice to know that I'm not alone. I feel like I'm fighting the good fight by myself. It is the truth. Oh my gosh. Yes. I think Heather is envious of what Lisa is allowed to do as a Mormon when she's a walking contradiction of everything Heather was taught is fundamental to the faith and access to the community. Oh, absolutely. They're definitely upset about that. Season 1, when Heather was talking about how Lisa contradicts the faith with the liquor company, Vita Tequila, and how she lives. She barely goes to temple. Is that what they call it? Or the Mormon temple? Or barely goes to church? But yeah, there's always been envy, in my opinion. There's always been envy of the way Lisa lives her life, very carefree. They resent that because they were very much like the good girls followed by the book, and they were ostracized. Meanwhile, Lisa is herself, warts and all, and they're still accepting of her. It's very much like how you have women who are good and virginal and prude, and they're mad at the quote unquote whores who have men. It's like, wait a second, how come they saved themselves, so how come they didn't get a man but the whores got a man? It's very much like that. I agree wholeheartedly. Very much so. It's the truth. Brooke, you've been seen today. We understand you. Thank you. Thank you. You see me. Heather hates that Lisa has confidence, something Heather lacks deeply. Heather sees that Lisa is vulnerable, so she's finally making her move for center snowflake. Oh, absolutely. Hey, Florida Rain, thank you for the super chat. When it comes to Heather, I feel like after exposing Monica, she let that get to her head. Oh, she did. She wouldn't stop with that catchphrase when she kept saying, receipts, proof, timeline. She wore that out for like 2 seasons in a row. We kept hearing that for like a year and a half. I was like, okay, girl, you had your moment enough. But yeah, she definitely got a big head off of that moment. Not inbred aside, you have me screaming. Mary rightfully called her out in season 2. She has the snobbiness of a true Mormon. She does. Mary ate with that. She loves a monologue. Yes, she does. She does. Yes, I no longer want to hear that catchphrase. Same here. So we have Heather going on to say, hold on. Apologies, y'all. We have Heather says that when Angie dropped the tea, that Lisa gave her names to look up, Lisa gave her names of people in Meredith's family to look up, to look them up and find dirt on them. She says that sealed the deal for her, and it was undeniable. Again, Heather, how is that your new best friend and you're believing the bad things that are said about her with no proof? Angie has yet to provide proof that that's what Lisa did to Meredith. Like, it's very aggravating. I do want to get back to, we see Whitney and Bronwyn still talking in Bronwyn's room. And Bronwyn says, what about that lunch? I didn't even say anything about Lisa. I wasn't even accusing her. And Whitney says, well, she did that because it was her. So Bronwyn says, who broke all the Alibaba stuff last year? That's what made it so obvious to me, because you just went through this yourself. So now Bronwyn says, and the person who keeps putting this on Twitter keeps using a nickname for me. They keep calling me Conwyn. I said, not Conwyn. She says, that's what Lisa called me at Amy's, and the stuff had not hit the press yet. So that was red flag number 1. Now, hold on, girl. Let me just say this, Greg. When production played the flashback of what Lisa said to you at Amy's party, she didn't call you Conwyn. She called you Fraudwyn. So get it right. Second of all, Conwyn's not that clever that Lisa had to get that from Twitter, or let's be so for real. Folks are calling you Conwyn before that. And then the gag is, it's already been discovered on Twitter. The Twitter account has proof that they're the ones who came up with that name for you, and they were the ones who digging in your past about your allegations and your charges. So there's already proof showing that Lisa was not behind any of this. It was actually this Twitter account who doesn't like you. They're the ones they have an axe to grind against you. I just said, yeah, people were calling her that from jump. They are really grasping at straws to pin this on Bronwyn, to pin this on Lisa, and they all sound crazy. It's very pathetic. Bronwyn trying hard to deflect. Y'all, I was so aggravated, but I said, yeah, Bronwyn, let's get it correct. She did not call you Conwyn at Amy. She called you Fraudwyn. And just so we're clear, it's already been revealed on Twitter that Twitter account has been exposing you for a while. And they've even gone so far to say, no, Lisa had nothing to do with this. This is all me. I'm doing it for the love of the game. I don't like you. I want to expose you. Girl, I don't know who you pissed off in the Twitter world, but that one Twitter account can't stand you, honey. So stop pinning this on Lisa and call the police and the authorities to have this person stop talking about you. Just saying. This is just so dumb. Girl, fight the Twitter accounts. Thank you. People dig into every housewife's past. Stop acting surprised. Exactly. Listen, some people have nothing but time. Baby, that Twitter account said, it's all me. They said, no, baby, it's all me. Don't give Lisa any credit for this, baby. This is all me. I'm doing this for the love of the game. I can't stand your behind. I can't stand your narrow behind, baby. It's me doing this. It's me. Baby, they said, they said, now why is Lisa in it? Exactly, honey, fight the bots. They said, honey, it is not me. Twitter wants all the credit. Exactly. But listen, they said, honey, don't. Lisa will not take the credit for this is all me, baby. Hey, Kyra Bryant, thank you for the super chat. Lisa wants blind friendship. I'm Team Heather on this issue because at this point, you can't ignore the things Lisa has said or done. Meredith won't speak up because she doesn't want her tea sprayed again. Listen, that's a fair point. I welcome all viewpoints. I'm not saying that Lisa is the best friend ever. I'm not saying that Lisa has not done shady stuff too. She has. Lisa was over there being shady about Mary's church in season 2. I didn't forget that. Lisa was over there being, just being kind of nasty in prior seasons. I will never deny that. I will never deny the facts. But in this case right here, I think that Lisa did not do anything. And I do believe that she's innocent and Heather needs some serious help. Heather set this woman up, in my humble opinion. But no, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your super chat and your viewpoint. What? Oh, what? He's fighting the Twitter account. She sent cease and desist against them. Oh, wow. Well, on the bright side, they're giving her a storyline. Don't let Brooke hear you. Lisa's the worst friend ever because she's so insecure. What if she paid that account? Maybe listen, anything is possible, but I think the reason why I'm just not here for that, because remember, when you get on the Housewives, there is a section of fans and viewers who can't just watch the show like a normal person. They're going to go and dig into your past. They're going to pay to get some records. If you had a record, you know what I'm saying? We know this. Think of Nene. We saw her mugshots when the show started, when Atlanta started. Sonia Morgan's DUI came out when she joined the show, season 3. Sheree's mugshots came out when she was stealing from Saks as a teenager in Cleveland. The girls, their stuff does get exposed. So knowing that's why I feel like this was not Lisa, because this happens to every housewife. If you have a mugshot, they're going to find it. And there is a section of the population who their main job is to expose a housewife and bring her down. That's the only reason why I feel like this wasn't Lisa, because you have fans who will do that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they said give them. They want their baddie chain. Like, no, baby, Lisa did not do this. This is all me. Just saying, y'all. Heather was able to expose Monica because she does the same. Exactly. Yes. Look at Danielle Staub's past. The reason for the table flip. Yeah. But listen, if you have a past and you get on Housewives, the fans are going to find out about it. So, a mess. So now, y'all really have me screaming in the comments. So now, hold on. I'm still laughing at the thought of Bronwyn really thinking that Conwyn is so clever that somebody had to go on Twitter to think of that. Like, no, girl, the folks are calling you Conwyn a long time ago. Oh, gosh. So anyhow, we are finally at dinner. No, we see Heather and Whitney. They have Meredith in their room, correct? They're trying to get Meredith on their side. I love how Meredith is like, girl, let's just wait and see. She's not really here for them pinning this on Lisa. Okay, you said it was Chat GPT. Since the necklace, she's always been Conwyn. Okay. I listened to Bravo and Blaze interview with. It's been there for months. People hate Lisa so much they want to be her. Either way, all these housewives have done this. Call them all out, especially Whitney. She's a snake. Very true. Damn, y'all are too much today. So anyhow, it's now time for dinner. And mind you, everybody's there except for Angie and Mary. They're in their rooms because Angie is still sick. I thought it was really cute to see Mary comforting Angie. I feel like we don't ever see, I feel like we always see it the other way around. So it was nice to see Mary providing comfort to her friend. So you have the chief Stu coming to check on them. She says, I'll get Captain Jason to come down and check on y'all. Captain Jason comes down to check on them. He brings Angie ice to cool her down. Again, Angie, I just cannot believe that you are this ill. I mean, do you think that, is it going to stay? Does it stay like that the entire trip? Doesn't seasickness wear off within like 24 hours? Is she going to be in this state for the entire rest of the trip? Like, I feel so bad for her if that's the case. I think it's jet lag and the seasickness. Mary is the MVP. Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad either. I'm like, well, damn, like I know it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. I mean, Angie has been out of commission since they stepped on that yacht. She had a margarita shot, and then she was just out for the entire day. It's serious to some people. Yeah, this made me like Angie and Mary's friendship more. I'm surprised they didn't offer her any. Usually people get used to it, but I think it depends on the person. It's like car sickness. It depends how bad it is. Did y'all talk about how this was a yacht compared to Potomac? Listen, Potomac is finally elevating from the rowboats that they were in season 7. Let's just be happy for small victories on Potomac, okay? Okay, she said she got better after the next day. Okay, thank God. Thank the Lord. No, I feel... So now, I'm like, look, y'all, when it comes to Potomac, don't even compare them to the other franchises. Let's be happy for the small victories on Potomac, okay? They were on a yacht this time around versus that damn canoe. So we get right back to everybody at the dinner table. Heather says that, I know it's 8 of us on this trip, but there are only 6 place settings because Angie is still seasick. So Lisa's like, wait, she can't even get out the bed. And Heather says, no, she cannot even get out of the bed. I went to check on her before I came to dinner, and she's sick. So now they all cheer to Angie getting better. And Heather, and now they're eating, and now they're eating their first course. And Heather says that she feels sad missing Angie and Mary's commentary. So Brittany says, well, I don't miss Mary's commentary. And I mean, I understand that because the way Mary shades the hell out of Brittany every chance she gets, I'm sure that wouldn't feel good. But Brittany, nobody has patience for a deadbeat, so I don't feel sorry for you. I'm gonna just leave it like that. So now Heather says, oh dear Brittany, we have a rule. You can only talk ish if they're right in front of you. And now Brittany says, well, I'm the only one who says stuff to people's faces. So Bronwyn, here's why I want to just tap you. I'm gonna wait. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Just let me cook. But Bronwyn calls her out, and she says, "Oh, really? You say things to people's faces because there are other people at this table that you're mad at." So now we see a flashback of a week earlier, and they went shopping together, Brittany and Bronwyn. So we see Brittany talking mess about Lisa and Meredith. Brittany says, I'm tired of Lisa trying to little girl me. I can fight my own battles. When it comes to Meredith, I've never seen her without having a seizure of some sort. Meredith goes from 0 to 60 in 0.2 seconds. It's almost like it's not real. So, baby, when I tell you Bronwyn pretending like she's a friend to Brittany, she went and spilled all of Brittany's tea immediately. She's like, just so you guys know, Brittany says she doesn't want, she's tired of your advice to Lisa and how she thinks that your advice is BS. She said, stop little girling her. Lisa's pissed. So now Bronwyn says to Meredith, she says that you slur your words and you go from 0 to 100 about nothing. It's all an act. And she does not believe a word that comes out of your mouth, and you pretend to have seizures. Brittany, when will you learn that you cannot trust Bronwyn? Bronwyn is the same woman who set you up to get red at Meredith's bat mitzvah last season when Angie had the high body count dress, high body count hair, that high body count read. That's because Bronwyn sets you up. You know that you and Bronwyn have a very contentious relationship. Why would you let your guard down? And I said, now, Bronwyn, you know good and well that if the tables were turned, you would be pissed if somebody did that to you. I said, girl, this is a hot mess. You can't stand this lady, because for you to sit up there and befriend her and then do this to her. I said, okay, Bronwyn. You said Bronwyn is an excellent fire starter, very messy, but at least she said it right in front of Brit. No, you're right. Bronwyn is not a good pal. Now, Bronwyn, I like you. Bronwyn was wrong for that. I agree. Bronwyn added extra sauce on Brit's comments. She did, because Brittany didn't say it all like that. Bronwyn added all that tone. She was like, yeah, girl. She said, you slur your words. And I was like, okay, she didn't say that. She just said, Meredith goes from 0 to 60 and she has seizures, or she pretends to have seizures. Like, what is that all about? It's weird. She didn't say anything about you slur your words. I said, oh, okay, Bronwyn. I said, girl, all right. I said, okay. But Brittany, stop setting yourself up for failure. So we know that Meredith is going to always give you a soap opera moment. Meredith, if you don't get on Days of Our Lives or General Hospital or whichever soap opera is hot right now, get yourself on a soap opera. I need you to call up Eileen Davidson from Beverly Hills. Shout out to Eileen. Get yourself on a soap opera. That was Meredith. That was her calling. She gives you soap opera realness. She was ready. So Meredith says, I have never had a seizure in my life. That's a horrible thing to say about somebody. There are people who do have seizures and they're very serious. My child had a seizure. I find it to be despicable. So baby, when I tell you, she starts yelling and screaming. So now Brittany's like, that's what I'm talking about right here. These are the seizures that you always have. Why did she say that? Meredith grabs a glass of water and pours it right in Brittany's lap. I said, wait, hold on. Now, Meredith, you know how I feel about throwing things, or like, girl, that was too much. That was disrespectful, but it was so class. Like, you did it in such a classy way. I couldn't help but to like low key, like, yeah, like scream and laugh, because it was so funny. The way she got up and just did it so like classy. I could not stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. I said, yes, she was getting very much Eileen Davidson and Kim Richards in Amsterdam, season 5. But Meredith, I do have to just tap you, because that was wrong. The same way I get on other people for throwing water, splashing water, like that wasn't right. You don't have the right to do that. I understand you don't like Brittany. You get tired of her and her BS, but you don't have the right to do that. So now you have Brittany pissed. Baby, Brittany picked up her glass and she throws the water back at Meredith. Now, mind you, why did somebody say that Meredith is a water bender on Twitter? I was hollering. The way Meredith rejected that water, not a splash got on her. All of the water went on Bronwyn. I said, Bronwyn, that's what you low-key get. You sat up there, stirred the pot, put some extra sauce on what Brittany said, and now you get doused with the water. I wasn't mad at it. Bronwyn was drenched. Yes, the Housewives liquid assaults need to stop. Yeah, I'm just like, that wasn't, she did it in a very funny, it was funny because it's Meredith, but I was like, Meredith, you were wrong for that. You were wrong for that. Like, across the board, full stop, she was wrong for that. Like, I get we love one of her soap opera moments, but I said, Meredith, that wasn't right. You don't have the right to do that just because you're mad at somebody. Like, that's not right. You said not the last airbender. Yes, Meredith with the Uno reverse. You said, does it make us hypocrites to have enjoyed this moment but drag Yulia for doing it to Gertie? I guess so. I mean, but that's the beauty of these shows. Sometimes we're all a bit hypocritical and we contradict, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Meredith doing it, we can all ha he because Meredith is dramatic, but it's still like, girl, you were wrong for that, but we still have a laugh at that. I think the way Meredith did it, she didn't splash it on her, she poured it in her lap. So I guess that made it it took the severity down, but I do need that to stop. Like, you don't have the right to pour anything on somebody just because you're mad at what they're saying. You can't do that. You said white on white crime hits different. I'm already bracing myself for the fun police who are about to bust up this party and try me in the comments when they catch the replay. I'm already preparing myself. I'm preparing myself right now. You know, y'all get me in trouble because I just read out loud what you write, and then people get mad at me. But I'm already you know they're coming. You know the fun police are about to break up the party. Say, Brooke, you're so hypocritical. I'm like, shut up. And I'm gonna have to start. I'm gonna shut up. Respectfully, shut up. That's what I'm gonna have to say in the comments. I already know five of the fun police are coming to get all of us. You said Britani is a deadbeat, so it's funny. That's also true too. Okay. I already know I'm about to sit up here. The fun police are coming, y'all. Yes. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Exactly. Yes, we are. Honey, we are multifaceted human beings, okay? Several things can be true at the same time. We all a little messy. Yes, honey, they are on their way right now. Oh gosh. Child. Yes, honey, protect the fun. Okay. You said you're a semi-retired fun killer. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys, I really appreciate y'all. I truly do. Thank you all for rocking with me. Thank you. You said you have me screaming right now, please. Yes, you said some of them are already in the chat. Now, yeah, they are. They're lurking. There's about 10 of them in the chat right now, and they know better. They know better. And Jameer's going to get them. Oh, my goodness, honey. Oh, you just saw one of the fun police in the chat. Get him. Jameer, get him. Get him. Whack him right now. Block him, Jameer. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh, my gosh. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. I appreciate y'all, the ones who understand me, okay? The ones who understand me. All right. Ciao. So anyway. Oh goodness. So where were we? So we're having dinner, you know, Bronwyn is drenched by the water. Britani is still pissed. Meredith is still pissed at Britani. You know, you have Meredith. No, Britani says, I'm sick of Meredith treating me like ish. Meredith says that saying somebody has seizures is disrespectful and disgraceful and disgusting. So Britani says that she's the only one not afraid of Meredith. She imitates Meredith in her confessional. So now Britani goes on to say that nobody else will tell Meredith that she's batshit crazy and it's not normal. Now, Britani, you have no room to talk about somebody being batshit crazy and not being normal. Baby, that's you. Any woman who puts a man over her children, my darling, you are several steps past crazy. You are a deadbeat parent, my dear. You have no room to talk about anybody else being crazy or abnormal. Sweetheart, that's you. Stop. Well, I said, now, Britani, you lost me there because, girl, you should not be calling anybody crazy. I said, just saying. And the way you chase after men, like you are doing on this yacht, stop it. None of your behavior is normal, but I digress. So now Meredith says, you lie incessantly. You recorded us last year. You've done a lot of nasty things. Brittany says, why don't you just disengage then? Meredith says, I'd be happy to. So now Heather's calming them down, and she says, everybody at this table needs to own the things that they do in order for us to move on as a group. It's not a pile on. We're adult women. We are privileged women. I love how the crew was so enamored. Well, they weren't enamored, but they were just so like, they were so engulfed in all of the nonsense going on. Like they could not believe that this was happening on their yacht. So now Heather says again, we all need to own our things. She addresses Lisa and she says, Lisa, I want to be real with you. I'm going to be honest. I think that you're the source of all the dirt and all the leaks. The camera cuts to Whitney. Whitney is in her glee seeing Lisa being called out like this. So now Lisa's like, why are you guys even questioning me? I'm not the source of anything. Heather's like, you're the grand poobah of all this. Like, you're the Don. So now Lisa's like, yeah, I am the Don of SLC. Like, I'm so sick of being accused of this. So Lisa says, I hear stuff all the time. I get a Diet Coke and I hear stuff. Then she starts yelling and says, shut the F up. Lisa, you know that they are doing this to rattle you. They know your weak points. They know that you are very reactive. I really wish that you would have met this moment with silence. Had you just sat there and just gave Heather a blank stare and continue to eat your food in front of her face and not even said a word, you would have won the night. In a situation like this, silence is your best weapon. Pay these girls dust. You're not great at arguing. We know that. Pay the girls dust. They can't stand when you're silent and when you're collected. You would hurt Heather to her core if you just didn't say a word. Let her talk and to sit there just like this. Reapply your lip gloss while you're at it and just make her look stupid. Period. It was painful to watch you getting so angry. You're screaming. I just said, girl, I understand you're mad. You have every right to be mad. I'd be pissed too to be accused of something I didn't do. But in this case, they are out to get you. Hit them with silence, please. Yes, has she been unbothered? She would have won the night. Lisa can't control herself. No, it's very true. She needs to regulate her emotions. She's very bad at that. She's horrible at that. I feel so bad. Listen, I just felt so bad. You said Lisa needed to ask for proof first. That would silence them. Exactly. Be like Gertie at the reunion when Alexia was speaking. Yes. When Gertie reapplied her lip gloss at the yes. Hit her with that. Pay these girls dust. Screaming and clapping like a toddler. Exactly. It just hurt her case. I was like, Lisa, please. I wanted to jump through that screen and say, Lisa, stop. Just be quiet. If you hit them with your silence, you will win this. I said, my God. So now anytime it's something to do with Lisa, Whitney always has to get up and try to put her fingers in Lisa's face. You have Whitney getting up and she's pointing at Lisa like this. Lisa's like, girl, sit down. Of course, she comes around to, be right in Lisa's face. I just said, baby, you have a serious obsession with Lisa. Lisa could be on the other side of the room and you will find your way over to where she is to bother her. I'm like, girl. And Whitney, that would be your last time pointing your finger in my face. You have a problem. Honey, Whitney's doing way too much. I'm so sick of it. Now I love Whitney, but she needs to stop getting in people's face. I agree. Yes, Lisa versus Whitney is very much like Candace versus Ashley. Yes. Most adults act like kids looking for attention. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's quite sad out here. No, for real. It's like a lot of grown adults cannot control themselves. It's troubling. It's troubling. So now Lisa gets up, mind you. And I still felt like Whitney was still trying to follow her around. And I said, again, Whitney, can you just sit in your seat? Like, leave this woman alone. Like, why do you need to be near her? So now Lisa goes up to Heather and she says, you guys have nobody to beat on without me. So she walks over to Heather. So she's like, this isn't a friend. F you, F you. Meredith comes over to calm her down. The whole crew is watching this. They are shook by all this mess. So now Lisa sits back down. She's like, you guys have called me a cheater. Y'all called me a Jen Shah. You're lucky I even talked to any of y'all. And I said, yeah, I get it. But I said, now, Lisa, I got to be honest. On the flip side, you've also done some low down stuff too in prior seasons. So you need to be happy that they're talking to you too. Like, it's been tit for tat. Yes, I believe that there is jealousy on Heather and Whitney's part when it comes to you, but I do feel like you've also played a part in the foolishness as well throughout the years. But right now, I do feel like you are innocent when it comes to the leaking of Bronwyn's charges. So Lisa says, I'm effing sick of it. Heather says, F you, Lisa Barlow. I've been a good friend to you. I said, a good friend? I said, wait, where? I said, wait, Heather, did I hear you right? You said a good friend? You've been a good friend to Lisa Barlow? You are setting this woman up for her downfall, but yet you're a good friend to her. I said, girl, Heather, Heather, I'm about to wear you out because you really tried it in these last 7 minutes of this episode. I was floored. This is real deranged behavior. You have the nerve to say you've been a good friend. No, you're not. A good friend is not assuming the worst about their friend. A good friend would have their friend's back. At every turn, it's, well, I like Lisa, but she is low down and dirty. Oh, I like Lisa, but, she does do that. Well, I like Lisa, but, she does engage in, dark practices and dark behaviors and all this. Like, that's not a friend. Because like I told you guys earlier, if you're my friend, if I'm your friend, I'm not assuming the worst about you. I'm not saying that, oh yeah, you would do something like that. I'm not saying I have your back. This is not friendship. This is a crazed fan weirdo, a fanned out weirdo who finally got close to the cool girl that she always wanted to be close to, and now she wants to take her down. That's what this is. This is a fixation and an obsession. That's what it is. Okay, it's a mess. Yes, Heather is so transparent with her nice, nasty self. The only people who are friends are Mary and Angie. So now they're still going at it. I mean, again, I'm floored at Heather saying that she's a great friend because she's not. Heather says, Heather says, you're going to throw a fit right now. So Lisa's like, where am I wrong? What is this conversation about? Now, while this is going on, the crew is serving them their main course. And it is so awkward with them cursing each other out. And the crew is trying to give them their dinner. I said, guys, can you guys just stop? Put this on pause for 5 minutes, please. So Heather says, just effing own it. Lisa says, own what? Heather says that you're the source of all the effing dirt. Lisa's like, girl, F you, F that. I'm not going to own that. I'm not going to own something that I did not do. Lisa says, what do I need to say? And Heather says, you don't need to say anything other than you're the source of all the dirt. Lisa says, well, okay, then I can't be your friend then. I said, I know that's right. Because for me, I don't know about y'all, but as for me, the minute you tell me you don't trust me, you believe that I'm just the worst person, the friendship is over. I'll be damned if somebody says they are my friend, but they are accusing me of something that I did not do. Heather, the way you spun this around to make yourself out to be the victim was wild. When you were like, are you effing kidding me right now? Are you effing kidding me? I said, yes, Heather, she's serious. Because how dare you say, well, just own up to what you did. And she's saying, I didn't do this. You should believe me as your friend. And now you're mad that she's saying, well, okay, well, if you believe that I would do this and we can't be friends, and now you want to play victim? Really, Heather? So now Heather says, no, Lisa says, I love how this got spun. Heather says, you're the one spinning it, you moron. I said, Heather, watch those B words. I said, you want to call her a moron? And girl, you're a weirdo. You're a weirdo for befriending this girl to take her down. Like this is weird behavior. So now Lisa says, I can't believe that you would say that to me. Heather's like, have I ever disparaged your marriage or your business? I said, girl, you might not have done that, but you are disparaging her character by accusing her of leaking info about Bronwyn to the press. Yes, it's a perpetual victimhood for me. Heather is a sneaky one. Yup, Heather was calling her out her name a lot. Yes, I had to pull that. When she called her a moron, I said, now, Heather, you better watch those B words. She does not like Lisa. It's evident. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Single white female behavior. Very much so. Very much so. So now Lisa's like, girl, you've got the wrong girl. So now Heather had me really bent. She was like, girl, get off the effing yacht then if you can't hear what I have to say. Again, you don't have to tell me twice. You kick me out, I'm gone. It would have been a shout out to everybody. I have fun. F all of y'all. I'm not going to ever film a scene with Heather ever again. I would have been on a small boat back to the hotel. I'm sure Can One has a Four Seasons or a Ritz-Carlton. I would have been right there posted up, talking to production, saying, going forward, I will not be filming any scenes with that one over there. You don't ever have to kick me out anyway, baby. I'm going to leave. Listen, if I were Lisa, I would have gone to my room and packed my bag so fast. The audacity for you to kick me off that yacht. Girl, stop. Yes, Lauren, I would never speak to her. Heather could never speak to me again. Yes, how is Heather more passionate about this than Bronwyn is? Exactly. Took my mic off, cut the cameras. Exactly. I'd be on the next tender out. Exactly. I would have been gone so quick after that dinner. Oh, same here. Listen, I would have been gone. I would absolutely. You have one time to even pump fake like you don't want me somewhere, and I am gone. I'm on the next plane out. Please, Heather, you would have never spoken to me again after that. We have the head chef, Ben, come out. He was trying to say hi to them. They're still screaming at each other. He just ends up walking out. He's like, you know what? This is a hot mess. Lisa storms off. She says, I'm leaving. You have Meredith calming her down. She's like, girl, come back and sit. So now Lisa walks over to Heather. Heather's like, I've been a friend to you till the death. Heather, don't ever play on my intelligence ever. Don't you ever play in my face like that. The audacity for you to say you've been a friend till the death. Baby, you are sitting over here. Y'all, I was irate. I was irate watching this last scene. Lisa says, being a friend to me is not telling me to admit to something that I did not do. That's being everything else. Like that's, and then she turns to Whitney and calls Whitney out. Lisa says, you guys are effing liars. So now she storms off, and now Heather is chasing behind Whitney. Did anybody else feel like this was low-key psychotic with how Heather would not stop? She would not leave Lisa alone. Heather, you gaslit the hell out of Lisa in this moment. Like, this was psychological warfare. And you guys can laugh at me and say I'm being over dramatic, but this was painful to watch. Like, I was getting chills. So Lisa's sobbing, and Heather says, why is it a bad thing that you're the one who knows everything about everybody? So Lisa's like, you're saying that I'm the source of all these leaks. So Heather's like, why is that bad? I said, Heather, are you really sitting up here acting like we're all dumb? You are accusing this woman of leaking stuff and being a horrible friend and being messy. And now you want to say, oh, well, why is that a bad thing? You're calling this woman a liar, a sneak. But now you want to say to her, oh, why is that a bad thing? Are you serious right now? Heather, you would have been out of my face. you would have been out of my face talking to me like this. You would have been out of my face. You would have been out of my face. Thank you. You're the one telling everybody on the boat that it's a bad thing. Exactly. It was absolutely psychopath behavior. Heather was the ultimate gaslighter. Oh, she absolutely was. I agree. I was so triggered at Heather trying to gaslight Lisa. My Lord, a drunk pick me. Damn. Oh, the shade is real, honey. I don't like how Heather was pressing her out. I didn't either. Heather hated Monica for leaking, but now she's gaslighting Lisa. This here reminded me of when the girls ganged up on Meredith after her dad died. Oh, I forgot about that. Heather was drunk and she thought that would pass. Child, Heather, hater, gay. Mm-mm. Listen, who was Heather feeling like? Exactly. You said, what was Heather wearing? Looked like a lampshade from the 1970s. Oh my gosh. So now, mind you, Heather is still gaslighting this lady. I mean, Lisa is falling apart. I mean, that's how emotional Lisa is. Lisa says, you keep saying I'm the source. Heather's like, why is that bad? So Lisa says, go ask your buddies. So Heather says, I am your buddy. The voice that Heather was using, it gave very much Karen. It was very unsettling. This woman is seriously trying to throw you under the bus and roll over you. And she's trying to convince you that she's your friend. Like Heather literally has the knife in your back while giving you a hug at the same time. That's exactly what this was. I was floored. No, it was quite evil. No, it was very unsettling. Lisa was so hurt. I hope Lisa never sees it for Heather ever. No, that was not buddy behavior at all, y'all. Listen, that I am your buddy, the way she said it, it sent chills up my spine. I said, girl, this is psychotic. I could not believe her. I said, Heather, this is so sick. You should feel ashamed of yourself for this. And listen, and Heather, you know that it's bad because I saw a bunch of Lisa haters. Even they were on Twitter saying, girl, this is not right. Like you really effed up, Heather. I'm sorry. Like Lisa's not my favorite person, but this was wrong how you did her. So now Lisa's like, get off of me, get away from me. She walks away and she's sobbing on the phone with John. Heather is following her. Lisa's like, girl, get the F away from me. Heather says, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep following you. Heather, this is how people get hurt. If somebody tells you to stop following them, listen, okay? If somebody says, get the F away from me, get the F away from them. Girl, in other circles, you might have gotten hurt had you followed somebody who said, get away from me. You broke boundaries like that. That's a violation of a boundary. If somebody says, please get away from me, I don't want to talk to you, don't touch me, don't come near me, leave them alone. And I wish that production would have said, Heather, leave her alone, let her have her moment. But like, that was really creepy. Heather, you were on some creep stuff in this moment. I'm so sorry, girl. But it was just like, what is going on right now? Oh my gosh. So she is still following Lisa, mind you. And you have Lisa saying, Lisa is still sobbing, mind you. So now finally Heather leaves Lisa alone. She's like, you're creating all of this in your mind. I said, no, she's not. You're actively gaslighting her and trying to turn the group against her. But now you want to sit up there and play in her face like she's crazy. I said, no, ma'am. So now Heather says, if you want to effing leave me, leave me. And she storms back up to join them for dinner. And now we see Lisa by herself on the dock and she's sobbing. Lisa's like, I never did anything to them. And that's where the episode ends. That final shot of Lisa sitting on that dock by herself at night, I was so nervous. I said, girl, like that was very chilling to watch. Yes, it was very much emotional abuse. Very much so. Very much so. Listen, let me tell you something. Heather, I don't understand why you believe that you are the pillar of morality and the truth, because I will never forget what you did in seasons 3 and 4. You are the same woman who took a beating, a literal beating. Jen Shaw punched you in your eye at the end of season 3 when you guys were on that vacation. She punched you square in your eye, woke up, black eye on, honey, your eye was almost popping out of its socket. You sat up there and told 20 different lies. You said that you were drunk and banged your eye into the wall. Then you said that you fell. Then you said that you banged your eye on the faucet as you were washing your face. Then you low-key insinuate that it was production who beat you, who hit you in the punched your eye out. You could have gotten your show canceled. You could have gotten somebody in production fired over your lie. You finally came clean about Jen Shaw punching you in the eye in season 4 because you knew that Monica had that tea on you. Monica knew. Don't you ever think that you're about to press anybody about the truth when you lied for a year and a half about what happened to your eye. Don't you dare. And I understand if you don't like Lisa, that's fine. But just hear me out. Give me this one. Give me my 10s on this one thing. To see the way Heather chased that woman on that yacht and gaslit the hell out of her was disturbing. And Heather was getting so much glee and so much happiness and joy from trying to break somebody down. And you could say what you want to say, but I still stand 10 toes down in my feelings about Heather has always been an obsessed, jealous fan when it came to Lisa Barlow. She finally became friends with the cool girl, and now she wants to take her down. This was the perfect case and point of that being the case. This last scene showed me that Heather's jealousy jumped out because this was really hard to watch. This was very hard to watch. Extremely hard. It was just, I could not believe what I was seeing. Hey, Kyra Bright, thank you for the super chat. I did hear that Lisa said production edited stuff out. She said when she initially spoke up, she was defending Whitney because they accused her first. Oh, wow. Okay. And you see how production wants to sit up there and act like it's, like it might be Lisa, because that would have helped a lot had they shown that. Just a mess. Hey, the perfume preppy, thank you for the super chat. Emotional regulation and being non-reactive is key. Yes, and that's what I want Lisa to learn. If Lisa could just learn how to regulate, she would be unstoppable. I really believe that the women pick at her because they know how reactive she is. They know that she's a loose cannon. She loses it every time she's in an argument. She doesn't get her point across in the correct way. So they get on her because they know that she's an easy target. If she would just pay them dust and take her power back by being silent, she could win. She could really beat them at their own game. Hey, Cheap 83 by 21, thank you for the super chat. Heather dragged Monica for leaking stuff, yet claims to want to be Lisa's friend after accusing her of the same and is mad at her. Is she crazy? Exactly. Heather knows good and damn well it wasn't Lisa. Because the same way they got Monica off the show for being a weirdo, if she really felt that Lisa was a leaker, she'd be a lot angry. Like she would be talking about how she feels so unsafe and she'd want Lisa off the show. She truly felt that way. She does want Lisa off the show, but she still wants to, take her. She wants the enjoyment of taking her down before she gets her off the show. But it's just very hypocritical for her to say this to Monica, but then claim to want to be friends with somebody who actually leaks stuff. It doesn't make any sense. The point of the matter is Heather is a crazed fan when it comes to Lisa Barlow, because none of this makes sense. Hey, Isma, thank you for the super chat. This episode was bullying 101. I felt for Lisa. Yeah, I felt for her too. I already know I'm going to get some pushback. That's fine. But I felt for her too, because Heather was really going out of her way to make Lisa feel like she was going crazy. Oh, hey, the perfume preppy. Thank you for the super chat. Heather and Lisa were giving Caesar and Brutus. Yes, yes, that's very, very much so. Very true. Very good comparison. Hey, Florida Rain. Thank you for the super chat. Now, listen, I don't advocate for violence, but if I tell you to get away from me and you follow me, you will get popped. Heather is a weirdo. Listen, Heather needs to be blessed that Lisa is not any kind of fighter. Because I know that if other people say, get away from me and you keep following them, you're going to get something. Hey, Princess. Hey, Princess Agwu. Thank you for the super chat. I know that we have said we don't want to cast shakeup, but seriously, Heather and Whitney need to go. This is straight up psychopathic behavior. I don't even like Lisa, but that was so creepy to watch. Yeah, I think that Salt Lake City is a great cast. And while, yes, we do share that sentiment of, we don't want to cast shakeup with them. But this episode had me reconsidering, like, if Heather's going to keep up with this nonsense, we might need to make some tweaks. But I'm praying and hoping that they can turn this season around, because if it's going to be, let's get Lisa off the show and let's ice her out, that's not going to be an enjoyable season. Heather won't be leaving anytime soon. Very true. No, you're right. And they're giving Heather that 3-episode spinoff about leaving the Mormon church. So yeah, I mean, Heather is not going to go anywhere. She is the face of SLC. She's like the Kyle of Beverly Hills or Giselle of Potomac. She's not going anywhere, but I think that she is going down the wrong road if she's going to continue after Lisa like this. You said Portia would have used production equipment to beat Heather's. Oh, we know Portia would have turned her every way but loose. Adriana did that to Joanna on Miami, walked away, and Joanna followed her and got punched. I remember that. Lisa is not innocent. Her reactions are because she has done things in the past. No, I'm not saying that she's innocent. I'm saying that in this case, I believe that she's innocent. I don't believe that she leaked Bronwyn stuff, because that the Twitter account that Bronwyn was referencing, they have been very proud about don't take any credit. That's all me. Like, I'm the one who's been exposing Miss Bronwyn Newport or Miss Fraudwyn, Fraudport, whatever they call her on Twitter. But in this case, I do not believe that Lisa did this. We have to remember that on every city, if there's any housewife who's ever had a DUI, gone to jail over theft or whatever, it will be exposed. Remember in the early days of Atlanta, Nene and Sheree's mugshots got exposed by fans digging up stuff. So for Bronwyn to think that somebody on the cast did that, that's just, it's not hitting for me, because we know how this goes. There is a portion of the viewers who really dig into all of the housewives and their past. Yes, where's Heather's proof and timelines? Exactly. All the women are putting me through it this season. I believe Lisa too. She stood 10 toes down about that and was not budging with Heather. Have we ever thought of Amy leaking because she took umbrage with Bronwyn ruining her party and wanted a snowflake? Maybe it could have been Amy. It very well could have been her. But either way, I just don't think that it was Lisa. To be honest, the way Heather did not want Lisa to walk away from her was very skin crawling. It was very chilling to watch. She was invading her personal space. She kept, grabbing her arm. She's like, no, come here. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to follow you like a little kid would do. I said, Heather, stop. You got to stop this. That the woman said, leave her alone, get away from her, give her some time to be on the phone with her husband, and you're following her and saying, well, I don't care about that. I'm going to follow you anyway. That's wrong. We like, are you serious? Hey, Chi Chi, thank you for the super chat. I'm not a huge Lisa fan, but the way Heather followed her around saying she's her friend was honestly crazy. Like, you're actively being a villain. Yeah, it was crazy. It was nuts. Bronwyn did not ruin Amy's party. Both her and Lisa got into it. Heather crying to Mary and Angie was also very weird. What she did in the past is not relevant to the issue at hand. Let them know. Let them know. I'm so glad when y'all say stuff, because when I say it, I'm accused of being biased and whatever. So when y'all say it, it's nice to know that it's not just me. I'm not the one who's sitting up here crazy. So thank you for saying it. I truly appreciate y'all. That's like falsely accusing someone of hitting someone's car because they keyed another person's car in the past. That's the perfect analogy. Thank you. You see, guys, it's not just me. It's not just me who we share the same thoughts. The way Heather gaslit Lisa by saying that it was a good thing after accusing her was insane. It was insane. Heather keeps trying to recreate a moment from seasons ago, no matter who she has to accuse. I agree. Yes, Heather is searching for that next big iconic moment, the way she had at the season 4 finale with Monica. She's chasing that high. It's like she got like a hit of something and she's still chasing that. Like nothing will ever compare to that moment. She's trying to relive her glory days with that. And it's tiring. Heather had the opportunity to stick it to Bronwyn, who she hated for 2 seasons, but instead gaslit and harassed Lisa. Exactly. Yes, Heather wants that high again. That's true, but a pattern of behavior is a pattern. I'm not saying Lisa is guilty, but my eyebrow would be raised too. If it's raised, I can understand it being raised, but to be accusatory the way Heather is, no, ma'am. But listen, I understand if you're like, okay, you know what? I wouldn't put it past her. I get that. But to just flat out accuse her with no proof, that's where you lose me. You know what I'm saying? But I see where you're coming from. Lisa created a pattern in the past that's unfortunately backfiring now. This is going to be Heather's second worst season for me after season 3. Oh, absolutely. I can feel it. Yes, no one's bad all the time. It's way too easy to pin this on Lisa. No, it's very true. That's very true. Nobody's good all the time. Nobody's bad all the time. You don't agree with somebody all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's very true. You don't disagree. You don't disagree with somebody all the time. You get what I'm saying? Well, unless you want to be a contrarian and just, you know what I'm saying? But no, I get what you're saying. No, it's very true. I thank you. It's nice to know that, some people, I feel they just don't like a housewife, so the person can do no good in their eyes, or you like a housewife too much, they can do no bad in their eyes. It's, at the end of the day, everybody is human. Nobody's good 100%. Nobody's bad 100% of the time. What if this was Meredith? Didn't they accuse her of that too? They did in season 4, I believe, with Monica. I don't see Lisa doing that even if she was bored or upset. I'm shocked Heather let Bronwyn off the hook. I am too. But it goes to show you what jealousy will do, because we know that Heather can't stand Bronwyn. So the fact that she is letting her off the hook to go after Lisa, that says a lot. That says a lot. Yeah, Lisa's the villain they claim to be, but Heather is the real villain. I agree. What if it's one of Lisa's 7 lawyers? Britani would have a great storyline if she would focus on being a mother. Bronwyn is more calculated, smarter than Heather. She's not going to blow this up with Lisa with no proof the way Heather did. I would have taken my plate and gone to chill with Mary and Angie. Honey, I would have taken my plate and called up the Coast Guard to take me back to the hotel. I would have been eating my food on a small boat to take me to the hotel. Or I would have gotten a helicopter to go back to the hotel, because I would not have been staying on that yacht. I can tell you that right now. Angie was Angie was sick, but was reveling in knowing that they attacked Lisa. Honey, I would have called up somebody to come get me off of that yacht and take me to a hotel so I can just be in peace. Yes, honey, munching our way to the Ritz-Carlton, exactly. I died when the crew asked Mary if they were being too loud upstairs, like he was going to shut them up. You said, y'all are better than me. I would have been in the corner away from water, watching while eating my fish. Just like the way Kiki ran away with the Amazon driver. Looks like from the preview, someone got Lisa to stay. Yeah, I know. I saw that. Yeah, honey. Absolutely. That would have been me. That would have been me. You would take me back to shore, honey. I'm off this yacht. It was fun. It was cute, but I'm gone. How was Mary eating in that room while Angie was? I know. Yeah, because the smell of, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would not. I was saying, Angie, I love you, but I'm gonna go upstairs and just eat by the bar, and then I'll come back when I'm done eating. Because yeah, I would not have been able to eat while Angie was sick like that. That's a mess. Yes, you said I would have been blowing up Andy's phone. Get me out of here, bro. Exactly. This is so much better than OC. Oh yeah, as you guys can see, this is the first time I've ever ditched OC. Like I cannot believe it. I mean, all of the years of watching OC since the beginning, and I literally checked out after that sleepover episode. I'm done. I know there's some bombshell that Gretchen was liking, like some very some homophobic posts on Instagram. That's going to be the season finale where they call her out about that. So needless to say, I'm sure Gretchen will not be coming back for season 20. Gretchen was a flop. Oh, and the reunion looks for OC. Can we talk about that quickly? Gina Kirschenheiter, is that how you say her last name? Gina, don't you ever make me say something nice about you ever, but like your best look to date. Have you seen Gina put her $2 to work, her best look. I said, well, Gina, I said, I will give you, Gina, I'm gonna give you something. Gina, yeah, honey, she saved up every dollar. Never thought I would see the day. Gina got it right. 8 down. I said, Gina, this is going on record. Let me give you your 10s. Gina Kirschenheiter, I cannot believe it. October 29th of 2025. I am giving you your 10s. Do not ever say that I cannot be objective. I am giving Gina her 10s. Gina did that. Gina, you ate that. Like Gina cleared. And then I think Katie looked really good. Tamra also gave a pretty look. Everybody, I feel like Shannon wears the same dress. She wore that same dress in white for the last reunion. She wears that same like baby doll, like dress all the time, I feel. But yeah, Gina did that. You said, Brooke, Gina returned that outfit the next day. Yes, she wore that in silver. She wore that in silver last reunion. She wore that. She always wears the same dress, I feel. First time this show had a theme. Yes. They all basically look like they're going to prom. Vicky's OC's been bad since Vicky and Kelly left. Katie should have been the first seat and not the last. I need Shannon to give the high pony a rest. Heather looked like a cheap bridesmaid dress. Shannon's 50s look. Shannon needs a stylist expeditiously. Y'all are so funny. Shannon is stuck in a certain fashion era, early to the late 60s. Yes. Katie, Gina, and Tamara in that order. Just recap the reunion for the dolls, but then I don't remember. I don't know what's been happening. I've missed the last 6 episodes. If I stopped at episode 10 or 11, and it's been the 6 more episodes I've missed. So it's like, can I give an accurate reunion recap if I've missed? You know what I'm saying? Gretchen was giving high body count. I don't hate Emily's either. Yeah, I didn't hate Emily's either. I thought the red gown on Emily looked good. It was simple, but I thought that, yeah, I'll give Emily her due. Binge watch on Peacock to catch up if you dare. Do a reunion recap. Yeah, it's Gina and Katie for me. That's top 2. I stopped after the lie detector. You said her 0.5. You said, y'all have me screaming. Yep, it's the same argument from the start of the season. Brooke, it gets repetitive, so you'll be fine. Please let this be Gina and Emily's last season. I hope so. Yes, I'm watching Wife Swap. I think it's a cute show. It's so cute. Like, Melissa's episode is cute. I'm actually not finished with it. I was watching the rerun today. And the family that she swapped with is so cute. And I love it. So yeah, I'm in the middle of it. I'm at the part where Melissa took the kids to the furniture shop to buy a new table for them, and then Phaedra joins them. I'm at that part. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the Gorgas are able to adapt to the new wife's rules. Yeah, Wife Swap is such a cute show. Yeah, it's cute, it's fun, it's lighthearted. I'm like, okay, like I want them to do more. Like they should do more episodes of this. And yeah, Angie's episode was really cute. And I thought it was so adorable how Angie flew the family to SLC to watch the premiere episode last week. That was really cute. I just need that family to clean up. I know. I said, oh my gosh, I said, I don't want to judge anybody, but you know what I'm, you gotta be clean. That's how people get all sorts of rodents and stuff. And they had all that, the pots and the pans. That was driving me nuts. They had all the pots and pans just out there like that with the food on them. I'm just like, all right, let's tighten up. I mean, I like a clean space. I like a clean space. The Black mom is a star, and her family has just as much charisma. Yes, she is so cute. I love her vibe, everything, and her family. The kids are adorable. Michelle needs her own show. I wonder if they're gonna do it again. Like, I wonder if they're gonna incorporate the wives they swap with to have their own show on Bravo, maybe, because I definitely think that Michelle is very charismatic, like y'all said. I'm enjoying her a lot. She did end up cleaning Melissa's kitchen. Okay. Melissa said she wouldn't sleep in that family's house without security. It gave low-key racist to me. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she's just nervous, I guess. Because like the camera, she said production leaves the house once the cameras go off for bed. And I mean, think about it. You're sleeping in a bed with a man that's your now, husband for the next 3 days. That might, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's not going to be so comfortable with that, So, I mean, I saw that. She said that on the Jeff Lewis podcast. I didn't take offense to that. I didn't think that it was giving racist. I just think that, Some people are a little bit weary, I don't think she meant it in that way. The way she really loved the family and the kids and the husband, I don't think that it was racist. You said I wouldn't sleep in the bed with that man. I seriously doubt they actually had to sleep there once cameras go down. No, I don't think that Melissa was being racist. It could just be me, though. She loved on those kids. Yeah, I didn't get that at all. She really loved the family. You said Melissa and them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do sleep together. I could have sworn they do. I wanted to pressure wash her whole kitchen. Angie set a high expectation. She was a perfect fit. Angie was a great sport on her. She never judged. Yeah, no, I don't think that it was I don't think it was racist when she said that. I think that, you might have trepidation sleeping with a man you were just meeting, 24 hours ago. The kids were adorable. Are we watching Emily's episode? I don't think I will. That will be the one that I skip. I'll watch everybody else's except Emily's. Okay, no, they give the guests the bedroom. They don't sleep together. Oh, okay. Okay. Same. I've always enjoyed Melissa. Yeah, I've always liked Melissa too. Yeah, Emily's, I'll pass on that. Oh, okay. Um, no, even the original show, the husband and wife sleep in separate rooms and not together. It's still a family show, y'all. Okay, good to know. Thank you. A definite skip on Emily's episode. Yeah. Yeah, sleeping in the same bed is a lawsuit waiting to happen. I agree. So yeah, I know I don't think that was still it's weird to stay overnight in a house of people you don't know. It's not like visiting a relative. Exactly. Okay, so you're definitely not watching Emily's episode. No, Wendy's is going to be back on. Wendy's is going to be on November 9th, Sunday. Wendy's episode is coming back on November 9th. Bravo shady because November 7th is the court hearing. So so for them to put it up November 9th, I said that is so shady. I couldn't do it. I had to stay in a hotel. Yep, Wendy's is the finale. It sure is. I'm watching Emily's, y'all. I'll tell you if we need to drag her. They don't sleep in the same bed. No, it's not. Hers is not scratched. Hers is coming. Hers is the finale episode on the 9th. Ciao. Yeah, no, yeah, her episode is gonna break records. I agree. Wendy's is gonna be the highest rated. I agree with that. Y'all are so funny. uh It's not wife brazzers. Y'all are so funny. Since they've had cameras every episode, maybe Emily gets a New Jersey housewife that we like Dolores. They were on Amazing Race last season. Andy and Bravo knew what they were doing by airing it later. Oh, absolutely. Yep, the 9th is Sunday. That's when they're airing it. Yep, and Bravo knew exactly what they were doing by pushing back Wendy's episode. Ratings gold. Yep. And then on top of that, it's ratings gold, but you have it 2 days after her court hearing. And then on top of that, it's right after Potomac. So it's a whole bunch of Wendy that night on Potomac at 8 and their wife's up at 9. Yeah, Bravo said, let's cash in. Honey, Bravo said we're gonna make that money. I am screaming. No, you did not throw me under the bus. Stop it. You have me screaming tonight. Last night I told my hubby it's giving a Brazzers feel. Oh my God. You did not say that. He asked me, "What do you know about Brazzers?" And I said, "Brooke Ashley." No, you did not pin this on me. Don't pin this on me. Y'all will not do me. Don't do me. Don't do it. Y'all are horrible to do me like this. Why would y'all do me like that? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You did not do that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You did not say me. Why would they throw me out with the wolves, honey? You see this? Listen. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Y'all will not sit up here and act like you heard this from me, girl. Y'all will not do me. Brooke, do you think they will give Wendy some kind of special for her court proceedings? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure they'll have cameras there on the 7th to record, and they'll probably I mean think about it though. If she gets a special, that's more money. They need every dime. So capitalize on it, monetize everything. Right? Throwing me under the bus. Exactly. They want to pretend like they're innocent. Exactly. Like you see how folks do you. You see how they do you. Listen, no, you did not. Oh my gosh, don't do me. You will not do me like this, y'all. You will not do me like this. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Lord have mercy. No, but yeah, I mean, I won't be surprised listen, if her and Karen get specials, they better maximize it and make their money. Oh, stop it. Stop. You will not pin this on me. Listen, don't do any research. Don't do any research because you see, you said very pure and innocent. You better stop. Oh my gosh, y'all will not sit here and do this to me. You said Wendy's episode of Wife Swap is about to turn into an impromptu episode of I Spy. Y'all will not. Oh gosh, for you to watch OC again, who would your ideal cast be for season 20? Season 20? I think if Vicky came back, I wouldn't be upset with that. Maybe I guess bring back Tamra. Right? Tamra and Heather. Emily and Gina need to be gone. I guess keep Heather. Maybe bring some newbies back. I don't know. Listen, and when I tell you I'm so tired of OC right now, I really don't know what to do because I feel like if they swap out the cast and bring in all new faces, people are going to complain. So it's like you might as well bring some of the OGs back, I don't know. So they line on Brooke like Heather lied on Lisa. You see how they do me? No, you don't do. See, they're gonna get mad at me. You know that people sit up there and say that I'm being shady. I'm reading your comments, and then I get accused of being shady. Oh my gosh. You can go on Google, but put your what's the incognito browsing on, and don't Google at work. Don't Google with people around. I am screaming. Oh my my gosh, guys, please. You said use the DuckDuckGo browser for privacy. I am screaming. You guys have me screaming so hard, please. Oh my gosh, y'all have me in tears. Y'all will not sit up here and do me like this. Not me, girl. Y'all better leave me alone, for real. Y'all better stop this. Oh my gosh, y'all will not sit up here and do me like this, okay? Oh gosh, y'all. Please, y'all. Y'all have me in tears tonight, okay? You said, where's the sponsorship, Brooke? I am screaming. All right, y'all. And that's my time. That is my time. Oh gosh. All right, y'all. But this was a really good recap. I had a great time with y'all. I will see you all later. Well, yeah, I'm sure some news will pop off and I'll talk about that. I'll see y'all later. Y'all are so funny in this chat, okay? Like y'all are too much. But guys, in all seriousness though, thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you guys have fun. Love y'all down. Shout out to all my moderators. Shout out to Jameer. Shout out to y'all. Thank you to anybody who super chatted. Thank you guys for joining me. But have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday night, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.